What's up, StaleMates? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Tea. There has been some sticky situations this past weekend in the wrestling world, but nothing stickier than Mat Man tape. Let me tell you about Mat Man tape. You can order it at matmanedge.com. You can order many other things in the wrestling world. They have all kinds of different products, from singlets to headgear to hair caps to everything. You can get ankle bands there, knee pads, and Mat Man tape. So go check it out. You can use promo code StaleMates for 10% off. Let them know that you appreciate that they support StaleMates, because we support them. Also, check out Barbarian Apparel for any custom apparel needs that you have or your team might have. Josh is the man over there. He gets it done. Headache free, I promise you. Just when we did the Chandler Rogers match, I said, Josh, I need a singlet in like 2 weeks. It's got to get to Arkansas, and he's going to take it to Philadelphia. We're in Philadelphia. He designed it from top to bottom, shipped it out, got it there in time, no problems at all. So go check out Barbarian Apparel as well. Without further ado, let's get into all the sticky stuff that's been going on. I appreciate you guys. We want to get to 2,000 subs. We're getting closer and closer. As soon as we get to 2,000 subs, there's going to be some cool stuff going on. So I appreciate you guys. Our 1-year anniversary will be in April. Let's get to 2,000 subs before then. Drop the intro, baby. I'm not going to go in chronological order here. I'm just going to go in from what I think is the weaker side of the tea to the stronger side of the tea. And what I mean by that is the juicier stuff for the end. Right off the bat, though, Rutgers and Minnesota wrestled each other, and the Rutgers crowd, you know, they're a little bada bing, bada boom, right? They like to get into the drama a little bit, and I didn't get to watch it, but apparently, according to Mitch McKee, he said Rutgers wrestlers act like tough guys, but are just a bunch of crybabies, crying face emoji. Well, I don't really know what to say about that. There's really not any back and forth, but the fact that he took this shot at Rutgers is kind of like, all right, he doesn't care what people think. He's going to go ahead and say it. His brother Patrick McKee wrestled, and he did get the win over Nicholas Aguilar. Got the pin, so I guess he's got that going for him. Mitch McKee graduated, so he's not really involved in this duel, but just as a fan, he's saying his opinion, I guess. I really don't have an opinion of that. I don't necessarily agree. I think there's some bad mofos over at Rutgers and the Scarlet Knights. But hey, that's like your opinion, man. The next one here gets a little bit juicier. This is like more what I consider a beef or a tea, because there is some back and forth going on. But the guy who actually tweeted it had really nothing to do with the actual beef. So it was a pretty non-controversial tweet from Mason Beckman at Beck_Diggity. He said, the career that Hayden Hidlay has put together thus far has been amazing. 26-0 in your conference is pretty insane. Even on bad days, he gets it done. Model of consistency. That was followed up by an impressive 212 likes and some replies. The top reply, though, was from the legend himself, Kenny Monday. He says, no argument there, but will he win a title? That's the question. Without that, he'll be like Charles Barkley, LOL. This kind of seemed like it came from the rafters a little bit. However, Kenny Monday, his son Kennedy Monday, wrestles for the Tar Heels. And so there's a little bit of the animosity there with the in-state rivalry going on. Plus, Kennedy Monday has actually wrestled Hayden Hidlay, where Hayden Hidlay has won both times. Pretty early on in Kennedy Monday's career, though, and they were somewhat close matches. I wouldn't say they're barn burners, but they weren't exactly blowouts or bonus points, I don't think. So that kind of sparked a response from Hayden Hidlay. He had a pretty good response, if I do so say myself. A respectable response, I'll say as well. Hayden Hidlay posted a tweet where he says, even though there's some underlying animosity behind this tweet for whatever reason, I respect you as a legend of the sport. So all respect right there. However, I'm comfortable with the legacy I'll leave at NCSU and don't care what anyone has to say. Here's a visual of Charles Barkley last night. And he posts a picture of Charles Barkley dunking over a player, and he took the player's face and got rid of it and put a North Carolina logo on it. So he's saying, I'm dunking on North Carolina. So pretty respectable shot there. He gave respect to the legend that Kenny Monday is, but also said, I'm dunking on you as well. Kenny Monday joined the chat again. He said, you had a good comeback, LOL, but if that offends you, so be it. Wasn't intended. And one last thing, coming from the ACC, you're one of the wrestlers I'd rather see win it this year. Just to be clear, done. Kenny Monday tweeted, people are crazy. First, I know Mason and I agreed with his recognition of your success. I simply ask, will you win a title? I was in the same boat my senior year in college. I compared you to Barkley, jokingly, one of the best ever, one of my favorite players because he never won a title. So it seems like at the end of the day, they wash their hands a little bit. Moving on. I don't think there's a problem with some of that. Kenny Monday also tweeted. He tweeted a lot in this back and forth. He also replied to Hayden Hidlay's tweet with a crying face emoji. He also tweeted again with definitely one of the best. So Hayden Hidlay did a good job defending himself, and Kenny Monday did a good job explaining what he meant. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to be compared to Charles Barkley, but at the same time, I think Mason Beckman was just trying to give him props, and then it's a little bit of a jab saying, is he going to kind of questioning if Hayden Hidlay's going to win a title or not? I guess we'll find out, but without really getting too much into it, Kenny Monday, obviously a legend, and Hayden Hidlay's doing really well. So, all right, let's move on here. Tom Ryan entered the chat, the Ohio State Buckeyes head coach, and he took some subliminal shots at people that we do not know. Cael Sanderson, he said, interesting how national letter of intent signed prospects decommit and end up committing somewhere else without ever being released from the initial national letter of intent. No communication is allowed during that time. Quite a risk they're taking unless, of course, they already know their offer elsewhere. Come on at NCAA. So this is what you call dry snitching. Dry snitching is when you tell on the crime, but you don't actually say who did it, but everybody kind of knows who you're talking about here. Penn State recently flipped a kid from Pitt to Penn State. It's a 125-pounder. Apparently, he already signed a national letter of intent for Pitt, and there's this no communication dead period going on. So he flipped to Penn State. So what Tom Ryan's saying is, how is that even possible if you can't talk? So did he just do it without talking to the coaching staff? There's a lot that we don't know. I'm hearing rumors that the kid was already out of the national letter of intent. I'm also hearing that he still was in it. I don't have an opinion on that part, but I'm just going to give my opinion on the snitching part. Aren't they all doing shady stuff? I mean, from what you hear from other sports and even in wrestling, I get stuff sent to me all the time that I don't know if it's true or not. And it's like, it sounds to me like they're all playing this dirty game. So once something happens bad to you, you can't just go running and telling on everybody else, in my opinion. That's just my unprofessional opinion, but I don't know. I don't exactly co-sign this tweet. I think if you want to call him up and chew him out or even take it to the meeting or something like that, but you're calling it out on Twitter without actually saying the names, like somebody else said, either name names or be quiet. We'll see what comes of it. I doubt anything's going to come of it. But I think you can tell that there's a certain college coach out east who's getting under his skin a little bit. Some might say that they're rivals. I don't know. And so lastly here, this is the grand hoo-ha, the whatever you want to call it, the T of all T's. Oldest and greatest at oldest greatest tweets out a clip from the AJ Ferrari and Younger Bastida match. Shout out to Younger Bastida. Go Cyclones, roll Clones. They got into a little debacle during their match. So it's the first period. I actually missed this. I actually missed most of this match, actually. I was on an airplane, so I didn't see it, but I don't know if I would have noticed it right then and there. So I'm going to give a little bit of credit to oldest greatest here. He clipped a tweet of they're kind of tied up a little bit, and AJ Ferrari has an overhook, it looks like, but he's got his hand kind of on Younger Bastida's thigh, which is close to Younger Bastida's, his junk. And after AJ Ferrari kind of has his hand right directly on Younger Bastida's, then you see Younger Bastida kind of look and turn to the ref and point like, what the heck is this? Is this allowed? And it looks like he's got a good grip on the thing. And as soon as he kind of points to the ref, Ferrari lets go. It's kind of a hilarious clip. It's at 208.9 thousand views and 854 likes. Bunch of hilarious tweets, fully caffeinated tweets. That ref just pulled a Jim Jordan. 73 likes for him. Other people saying 5-on-2, Kevin Clonch. Jeffrey responded to that, Lock Glands. There's some pretty funny tweets here. I recommend going and checking out that little thread there. Jared Dagan tweeted the clip of the old twist. But this isn't even the beef. The beef is actually Gable Steveson. So Gable Steveson obviously saw the clip, and if you guys remember, they had a little beef and they were calling each other out over some political stuff. I actually, at this point, I don't really even remember what they were mad about, but they were kind of calling each other out. They were supposed to wrestle. Nothing ever happened from it. However, Gable Steveson, after he saw the clip, goes out and he tweets, quote, retweets it, and he says, matter of fact, I don't even want to wrestle him anymore, which is a pretty good tweet, in my opinion. Like, didn't really cross the line or anything like that. But speaking of crossing the line, AJ Ferrari still has some animosity towards Mr. Steveson, and he tweets a screenshot of a TMZ article, TMZ Sports, where they put up the article, or they reported about the top college wrestler arrested for sexual assault, denies allegations, tags Gable Steveson. He says, wait a second, I just saw this. Is this the same dude talking crap to me? Yeah, we got tagged a lot in this one to cover this one. So after that happened, Gable Steveson kind of realizes that AJ Ferrari takes the gloves off when he gets into the Twitter game a little bit, and he goes ahead and he tweets. I don't know if he deleted the tweet or not, but he tweets something along the lines of like, "Okay, I see you need help. I'm gonna let Oklahoma State kind of help you out," or something like that. Kind of saying like, "Okay, dude, you're crazy," which is true because the guy AJ Ferrari ended up retweeting his own tweet, which is a bold move, and then he also goes and posted on his Instagram and everywhere else. He did not like it, so he was fine with all the other jokes and everything else that everybody else was saying. But as soon as his enemy Gable Steveson got in on it, he says, "Hey, watch this. I'm gonna go ahead and out your pass." So AJ Ferrari, I don't really agree with doing that. You know, I don't know what happened with Gable, and I think it ended up getting dropped, but I guess if you send shots, he's going to send shots back. AJ Ferrari is kind of the gift that keeps on giving because he is a content machine. This guy puts out stuff on Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, everything else that just grabs you and you're like, okay, this guy, I want to see what he's going to do next, because you never know what he's going to do next. Anyways, I hope you guys like this. I tried to get you guys caught up on what's going on. I'm sure most of you people already knew what was going on, but I feel like I needed to break it down. As soon as there's a tea boiling up enough, I think, you know what? I think we should go and break this down. So appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out all the links down below. Thank you to Mattman. Thank you to Barbarian Apparel. Thank you to you guys. Peace.